Starting off on the left-hand side of the engine compartment, you have one of your load-bearing members. Attaching the top of the strut to the load-bearing member, you have a nut here, and another nut out of view that holds the top of the strut to that load-bearing member. There is a hole where you have the nut that attaches the push rod of the strut to the strut hat. Moving the camera down here, you can see one of your pipes that are part of your air conditioning system. Below the pipe you have your expansion tank and pressure cap. It looks like the pressure cap is not on properly, but it actually is on properly. The expansion tank system is needed because as coolant heats up, it expands. So there needs to be a location where the expanded coolant can go to. So that's why you have your expansion tank system. There is also an expansion line that's part of the system that takes the expanded coolant from the engine to the expansion tank. This component here is to manually prime the fuel system after a service has been carried out on the system. This component here is a dust cover for one of your air conditioning recharge points. Moving the camera down here, you've got your supply pipe that takes coolant from the expansion tank to the engine. You need that supply pipe because this is the only official way to top the engine's coolant system with coolant. This component here is your washer fluid cap and neck. This component here is your upper radiator support. This component here is one of your bonnet bumpers. Moving over to this area, you have one of your fasteners to hold the wing to the vehicle. You also have two of your fasteners here and here that are part of your system that holds the headlight in the vehicle. Moving the camera over here, you have your other air conditioning recharge point dust cover. Moving the camera over here, you have one of your engine mounts, engine mount bracket, and rubber damper to reduce vibration going into the cabin. Moving the camera to this location, you have your diesel high pressure pump. In a diesel engine, the fuel needs to be pressurized to very high pressure. Over here you have your engine cover. If you were to remove this engine cover, you would see your fuel injectors and other components. In between the radiator assembly and the engine, you can just see your starter motor solenoid. Also in this area, you have coolant lines, electrical wires, and other different components here. Also in this area, you can see your clutch housing and one of your fasteners that are used to hold down the engine cover. Moving the camera over here, you can see one of your coolant pipes that goes from the radiator. On the coolant pipe, you have information about the pipe. Moving the camera over here, you can see one of your locations where you can attach an engine crane hook. Also, you have, in white, you've got your vent for the transmission. There is a coolant pipe. Below the coolant pipe, you have one of your transmission selector cables. Moving up here, you have your throttle body. Now this is not used to control the engine's output. Instead, it's used to not only enhance exhaust gas recirculation efficiency, but it's also used to cut the air supply off, making the shutdown of the engine more smoother. Below the throttle body, you have your vacuum pump. Because of the lack of vacuum that's produced in a diesel engine's intake manifold, a vacuum pump is required to supply vacuum to vacuum-powered components. Moving the camera over here, you have your cap for your brake fluid tank. Underneath the tank, you have your master cylinder. When you push on the brake pedal, you move a push rod that moves two pistons inside the master cylinder, pressurizing the fluid inside the braking system, operating the braking system. You have two pipes here and here that goes to your ABS modulator. By law, you've got to have a two-circuit braking system, i.e. you've got two braking circuits. If one of the circuits were to fail, the other circuit would take over. Moving the camera up here, you've got your air filter lid. Inside there, you would have your air filter element. Upstream of the air filter, you have your mass airflow sensor. And to the left of that, you've got your pipe that takes air to the inlet of the turbocharger compressor housing. On the battery itself, you have your positive post, your main feed line going from the battery monitoring sensor, and positive post. You also have fusible links and a component that's part of your system that holds down the battery. Just forward of the battery, you have your engine control unit. The ECU takes in inputs from various sensors like your accelerator position sensor and then compares it to its internal memory to control actuators. The reason why manufacturers would put a battery cover over their battery is to not only enhance battery thermo efficiency, but also to give the engine compartment a cleaner look. Moving the camera to the right, you have one of your power distribution boxes. Underneath there, you would have fuses and relays. Fuses are used as a circuit protection device. If there was a short circuit, the fuse would blow, protecting the circuit. A relay allows a small current circuit to control a big current circuit. Moving the camera over here, you have your SLAM panel. On the SLAM panel, you have information. You also have a cutout here for your bonnet latch system. Thank you very much for watching my video, and goodbye.